It's the Melchizedek News Hour. It's the Melchizedek News Hour.
It's all kind of cyber stuff going down. Shalom, family. Welcome to
It's
the Melchizedek News headline.
News Hour.
Come on in. All kind of cyber attacks going on in this world right now. How is everyone? That's what I first would like to ask you. With so much that's going on in the world, how is everybody? Because there's so much going on. I was trying to connect the Instagram stream, but Instagram reported that they're having cyber issues. Isn't that interesting, family? A lot going on in this earth, family. Yes. Come on in, those in the live chat. You know it's always impromptu with Sistah ChaYah gets online. Thank you, Brother Yosef, always holding me down. We got a lot to talk about, family. There are many headlines in the news. There's a lot developing, especially for this holiday week. Yes, and I want to talk about it. First, starting with all these cyber issues going on over here on Instagram. Let me close them out. Can't connect to them. They said we're having some cyber issues. I think we're going to be seeing that a lot, family, over the next few days. Absolutely. Welcome those that are joining for the Melchizedek News headlines, whether you're watching from Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok. I appreciate you watching. And if you haven't already done so, please click the like button. That's all I ask. That's right. And please subscribe. You know, Sistah ChaYah, I keep you updated on everything that's going on in the world, not just the USA, but everything that is going on in the world. And there's a lot that's going on that we all need to be, aware of. Absolutely, there's a lot going on. So I want to talk about, before I get into these headlines, I want to let you know that this is the Melchizedek Network. The network that represents for the King of Kings. That's right. The true Messiah. That's something to be excited about. I know everybody is like frazzled, people going through a lot right now. My phone has been like ding, ding, ding. People are dealing with anxiety, depression, just so much frustration, stress. But you are in the right place, because this is the channel that represents for the King of Kings. He is the true Messiah. And the world, they know him as Jesus Christ. But some, you may know him in a personal way as Yahshua. That's right, even Motes of the Lamb. Some call him Yahushai, Yeshua, Yahusha. He's all that. He is all that. And this is the network that represents for him. So no matter what is going on in the world, hey, because I know a lot of people, they're going to be falling out of the race because they're getting overwhelmed right now, because what you're seeing is event after event, headline after headline, tornadoes, storms. It's so much at one time, right, family? But I'm here as your sister to give you some encouragement, to let you know that we're going to get through it all. Yes, the word says that we can endure to the end, and we can, family. So with that being said, I got a lot of headlines that I want to make you aware of, and I'm going to be going back to back because there's so much developing. I see you over there, Sistah ChaYah. It's good to see you. We're going to be talking about the Southeast, because we know the Southeast got all kind of stuff going on with the weather. And that's where I'd like to start. But before I do, I'd like to start with some encouragement. You know how we do it over here at the Melchizedek Network. Let's start with a precept of the day. That's right, a Melchizedek precept of the day. And today we're going to get some encouraging words from our sister Peggy. Yes, let's hear what she has to say, family, because I think that with everything that's going on, we all need to examine ourselves. Where are you currently with everything that's going on in this world? Are you feeling hopeless? Are you encouraged? Do you got strength in this hour? Do you have peace? I tell you, you're able to have peace if you know where your strength comes from. So let's get some words over here from our very own Sister Peggy, shall we?
Shalom, family. Today, let's examine ourselves. So 2 Timothy 3:16 says that all scripture is made profitable for reproof, doctrine, correction, and instruction. The Third Testament 17:73 says, he who examines himself daily has to improve his thinking, his living, his speaking, and even his feeling. The Third Testament 63:275 says it like this: examine yourself carefully, and you will see how much it will benefit you. You will become aware of your defects and imperfections. You will correct them, and therefore you will cease to judge others. Remember, family, the scripture is for us to remove the log from our own eye, as well as to help others. This is Blessed by Yah, saying I love you, and I pray that you have a blessed day. Shalom.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Family, it's time to examine ourselves, especially with so much that's going on. You know, I'm just looking at all of the things that are happening cyber-wise. And I'm trying to connect, the comments from those brothers and sisters that are watching from Facebook. I see you, Sister ChaYah. I see you, Brother Verdell. And there's cyber issues. And there's more to come. There's a lot to come, family. So buckle up and get ready. Because I think this weekend, we're going to see some things. That's what my spirit tells me, brothers and sisters. That's why you need to know where your strength comes from today. So let's talk about that as we get into the weather, with a lot that's been happening just over the last few days. I mean, the Northeast has been getting hit up. I've been talking about it. Tornadoes all through the heartland, the Midwest. They're talking about a tropical storm coming to a big portion of the state of Florida. Not just Florida, but that may affect Georgia, South Carolina. These are areas that they know about these things because this is not their first ride at the rodeo. However, everything that we're seeing right now is not normal, brothers and sisters. We are living through biblical prophecy. So with that being said, let's get up to date on what's happening with the weather, what's coming for this 4th of July weekend, as well as fires. Yes. And even some possible tornadoes. I mean, it's just so much. We're here on this July 2nd, just in the beginning of July. And I do believe that July is about to come in with a bang. Yes, brothers and sisters, with a bang. Let's go to the weather over at Fox first, and let's hear about this weather, because we know, those of us that know the scriptures, there's some things that are being manipulated here. Everything is not natural, brothers and sisters. Yes, mankind has come into some technology that he's doing a lot of damage on this earth. So let's listen.
I've got one that can see.
You're doggone right you do.
Well, the 4th of July travel rush, it is on. Now, weather has already had an impact with storms across the east this week. AAA says this year we'll see record travel numbers with more than 61 million traveling by car, and get this, nearly 6 million taken to the skies. Heading into the holiday weekend, more storms are on the way. That could slow you down just a bit. We want to bring in travel expert Juliana Brosti, to help us stay safe and get ready for travel conditions out there. It's great to see you. I know you're in Denver, and when I fly into Denver, I always say take that early flight, because the afternoon you get the storms bubbling up. It gets a little bit bumpy, but let's talk about where we could, how we could kind of navigate some of these problems.
Yeah, well, certainly severe weather, thunderstorms, and extreme heat impacts travel. We see flight delays generally pile up throughout the day. So if you're on an earlier flight, you have a higher chance of departing on time, but certainly they kind of add up. You know, I was recently in LaGuardia, and due to thunderstorms, all flights were delayed. And a friend of mine who was departing earlier in the day was, delayed in that kind of domino.
Family, don't they talk so nonchalant about like everything that's happening right now with the hurricanes, tornadoes, flight delays? Oh, this always happens at this time. No, we are seeing a lot, brothers and sisters. And if you don't think so, look at this footage from Pennsylvania while they're trying to minimize what's happening right now. Yeah, that doesn't look like anything normal to me in Pennsylvania in July. Looks like a hurricane tornado. But, nothing to see here. You know, the mainstream news media is like, there's nothing to see here. Don't worry about all that. Meanwhile, let's go across the borders. Let's go overseas. 50,000 people over here in Turkey. I want y'all to see what's really going on. That's why we need the Melchizedek news, because Sistah ChaYah, I'm going to show you what's going on around the world. Not just what's going on around the USA, but around the world. 50,000 dealing with fires over in Turkey. What? You guys are dealing with fires as well? Yes, like this big brush fire situation in Riverside County that's expanding. San Bernardino, California, they're dealing with a lot. Remember, we were just in January when California was dealing with fires, not to mention about this explosion overnight at a fireworks warehouse. How convenient. Yeah, let's take a listen.
Containment is growing, and some evacuation orders are being downgraded for two wildfires. burning in Riverside County. The largest is the Wolf Fire near Banning. There are still evacuation orders in place, but containment is up to 35%. As for the Juniper Fire near Paris, containment is now at 60%, and there are only evacuation warnings in effect.
Those two fires among more than half a...
Fires, and more fires, brothers and sisters. Not to mention the explosion that just happened so conveniently in those same areas. But you know what I was tripping off of? Yeah, the name. YOLO, California. Oh yeah, the fireworks explosion. YOLO. You know, the world elite, they like to use those abbreviations for you only live once. They talk in code, family. Everything we're seeing is a psyop. Absolutely so.
Vicky, now to an explosive fire that broke out last night in Northern California. Just look at this stunning video. It's from our Sacramento affiliate KCRA. And all of this, it started inside a warehouse that was actually storing fireworks. Official called for a 1-mile evacuation zone around the facility while firefighters really battled to just get that explosion you see on your screen under control. Now, they say that large plumes of black smoke could be seen from miles away. Look at that. Nearly 80 surrounding acres have been burned thus far, according to CAL FIRE. NBC News Station correspondent Marquise Francis joins us right now with the latest. Marquise, what's sort of the status of things now? The video is wild. I mean, do investigators believe that they know whether or not it was intentionally started?
Right, Morgan. As you mentioned, the video is truly incredible. You see a fireball go up into the sky, and then you just hear explosion after explosion. Just a short while ago, I got off the phone with Yolo County PD, which is the county in which this fire actually occurred. And they said, unfortunately, they don't have any updates at this time, and they actually said no comment. However, a reporter from our affiliate, as you mentioned, KCRA, actually went back to the site today and said he saw no active large fires, just the remnants of smoke. Now, in terms of the cause of this, it remains unknown right now, but the local sheriff's office last night said it appears to be no criminal activity. The FAA also dispelled.
We're investigating. As usual, we're investigating. So much going on, family. Just like right now, I'm trying to use my keyboard and I can't type. Isn't that interesting? Right when I'm doing the news, my keyboard wants to malfunction, so I won't be able to put comments on the screen. But you all can still share your comments and I'll put them on the screen. I'm telling y'all, the enemy is busy. We are dealing with all-time spiritual warfare in this hour. You better know that. That's what we're dealing with. Shalom, Brother Gerald. It's good to see you. Exactly. It's good to see you, Sister Ruette. I want you to know that I'm here. But yeah, my keyboard is acting funny. Isn't that interesting? Hocus pocus on my keyboard. There it is. There it is. Shalom. It's working. And shalom there to the family over there on Facebook. There we go. I'm telling you, family, it's a lot going on cyber-wise right now. Many things are happening. Yes. All right. Let's get to some more stuff. Let's get to it. As a matter of fact, let's remove this. I want to talk about continuing with this weather. You saw what's going on in Philadelphia. You saw that California has all these fires going on. You saw that explosion. Did anybody know what was popping off in Vegas over the last 24 hours? Just some wild storm that came out of nowhere in Las Vegas overnight.
This morning, NV Energy crews are working to restore power across the valley.
Yeah, we just saw Tropicana and Pecos in Spring Valley. Tropicana and Jones winds, as Nate was talking about, knocked down a whole series of power poles. We have JC Fernandez there live this morning with a look at what's going on right now. JC, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, John. Morning, Sherry. Yeah, this is a mess behind me. This is Jones. We're looking south towards Tropicana. This is just wild to see these power lines just taken down. You see, the crews are starting to work on repairing everything. But as we head north down Jones, by the way, Jones shut from Tropicana all the way down to Harmon. But if we look down north on Jones here, you see, it looks like there's 6 or 7 down power.
They're not showing the real deal, family. Let me show you some better footage, okay? I want to show you this. I got this off of one of my social media users. Check this out. because this reminded me of Lahaina right before that big fire. Look at all these power lines.
Las Vegas. We are on Tropicana in front of the Walmart. Every last one of the light poles, the electricity poles are down. This goes for miles. We ain't got no power. I don't know what the hell is going on. This goes for miles, y'all. Look at the cords on the ground. It goes all the way down, miles. What the hell? What the hell? All of these are down, y'all. Every last one of the powers down.
Brothers and sisters, what's really going on over there in Las Vegas, right? Notice how the news the mainstream news that is, they only showed us like just a very small segment. They didn't show that all those power lines were down, but our sister did. She was like, hold on, something is going on over here in Las Vegas. Right before the holiday, right? Not to mention, I want to show you this. They're already experiencing power outages in a number of states. Right there, Las Vegas is dealing with a lot of power outages. There are thousands of people in Las Vegas, Nevada, right now dealing with, and what is this? Just is it Tuesday? Hey, dealing with just power outages already, right before this holiday. Well, check this out. I want y'all to see this. Spectrum, and this is in California. They believe that it's some kind of sabotage or some type of terrorist event to cut these cable lines to everybody's internet over here in California.
Tonight, Charter Communications saying cut fiber lines in the San Fernando Valley are an act of domestic terrorism. KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers is at the desk now. And Mike, detectives investigating the case say that's not how they see it, actually.
Yeah, so the LAPD is the one investigating this case. And tonight they are not mincing words, saying they do not believe this is domestic terrorism. Charter Communications, though, who owns Spectrum, telling a different story. I'll show you the video here because this is one of the ones that impacted customers, like something like 50,000 customers in the San Fernando Valley after these lines were cut. Now, I pushed Charter on why you're calling this domestic terrorism, especially if the LAPD is not. Now, Spectrum or Charter says they believe it is domestic terrorism because the service that was cut and who those customers were could be considered threats. We're talking about military, law enforcement, hospitals. They say because of who lost service in that is why they are deeming it domestic terrorism. LAPD says, hey, we've looked at the evidence. We've looked at everything that's gone on. To us, this is felony vandalism. There's certainly a big difference there between.
Somebody's lying because Charter, Spectrum, they think that it's some kind of foul play with the cables getting cut. And people are without internet. Las Vegas, right now, you got dozens and dozens of power lines down on the road, thousands without power. Make it make sense. Y'all know what's going on. Right here before the 4th of July holiday, family. I need you to stay vigilant, brothers and sisters. So much that's going on. I have a lot of headlines to get to today because there's so much that is happening. The enemy is trying to wear down the saints of the Most High, but we will not be wore down. We see everything that's happening. We're quite aware of what the prophecies say that would be happening in the last days, which we are living in. And we've been in those last days for quite some time. So family, as you see, lots going on with the weather and different things. Also, I'm always talking about and bringing to your attention the hocus pocus in the air that is going on with the different airlines. They're already anticipating thousands of cancellations this coming weekend because of weather conditions in different states. And many people are traveling. But check this out. As usual, lots of issues with the air.
As we gear up for a busy holiday travel weekend ahead, one family has a warning for flyers you'll see only on CBS News Chicago.
They say they were recently stuck on a hot plane at O'Hare for about an hour, forced to use an ice pack to keep their 15-month-old son from overheating. Our Sarah Maki is listening to them tonight.
The Canaan family says they were so concerned by what they experienced Sunday that they're not flying with United anymore, canceling their premium credit card and sharing their story in hopes others won't experience the same thing.
Yesterday I shared how United tried to boil a plane full of people alive in Chicago.
Frustrated after a recent flight from O'Hare to their home near Portland, Maine, Corey Canaan made a series of social media posts about his experience.
No airflow, no water, just suffering.
Gaining more than 100,000 views, 17,000 likes, his frustration resonating with fellow flyers.
We're not just fighting for ourselves, we're fighting for every single passenger that they do this to on a daily basis.
Snapshots from their whirlwind 10-day vacation show all smiles, but that last leg had them sweltering. With a heat index over 95 at O'Hare Sunday, they worried on the plane about the safety of their 15-month-old son. The temperature rising as more people got on board, the overhead fans circulating hot air.
We boarded early because we had the lap infant, and so then the plane just it's like slowly boiling the frog.
The FAA and U.S. Department of Transportation have no federal cabin temperature requirements, leaving it up to the airlines.
You know, the pavement is incredibly heated. You have air conditioning systems aren't often at full power. And
We've been hearing about this over and over again, leaving people on the tarmac for hours. And those people had a baby. Now, you know what? If that baby would have passed away, it wouldn't have been any type of accountability because they just don't care, family. We continue to hear stories like this with the airlines. There's a lot going on in the Mile High Club. Yes, it's at a point where you just want to refrain from traveling. I mean, it just is what it is. If you are traveling right now, it's just a big chance that you're taking that you'll probably run into some issues. I mean, just here, I'm going to show you this headline over at Miami International Airport. People fighting on the plane. It's getting to be just like, you know, the same thing that you see like on the buses and the subways. You're now seeing in the air.
A brawl in the skies. A New Jersey man is arrested after he allegedly attacked another passenger on a Frontier Airlines flight. Well, deputies with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office responding to this incident at Miami International Airport Sunday. They say the flight had just landed when this fight happened. Deputies say Ishan Sharma grabbed the victim by the neck. Sharma was rushed to Jackson West Medical Center and then taken into custody. A motive for that attack remains unclear.
Straight fighting in the air. You used to didn't hear stories like this, but now it's like a regular occurrence, like every week, family. There's something going on in the air. And what's crazy is you would think that they would hire like, you know, air marshals. No, they don't want to spend the money. The American system is collapsing right before us. Meanwhile, they want to keep you distracted on this case right here. This Sean Diddy Combs case, and everybody's like, oh my God, he got found not guilty of the more serious charges. I knew that was going to happen. I know a lot of you did too, because we know that this trial was about so much more that they didn't bring charges for. Yeah, gonna talk about that. But let's hear what the whole world is talking about.
You stand by. I also want to bring in our NBC News legal analyst, Kristen Gibbons-Fedden. Kristen, you have followed this one from the very beginning. I want to just update our viewers about what's going on inside court right now. His defense team, given the acquittals on some of these charges, Kristen, they're asking for him to be released. Because remember, he's been behind bars. He was facing such serious crimes, even though he had pled not guilty and maintained his innocence. He was behind bars this whole time, right? He has been in a detention center for months now. And so they're asking for him to be released today. for him to be able to live in Miami at his home. They've said, look, his plane has been sequestered. This is his first conviction. He should be released on appropriate conditions. Kristen, what are the chances he walks today?
I think there is a high likelihood that he walks today. Keep in mind what the jury found, right? The jury did not find him guilty of counts 2 and 4. So they really ripped out the threat element. They ripped out the violence element. They ripped out the violent parts of which is what the prosecution used as the main thing to keep him in bail. Remember back to when they were arguing bail.
Brothers and sisters, those that are watching, this whole Diddy trial, it was a true distraction because they really did not want to deal with the seriousness of what Diddy and the other elites have been doing behind closed doors. A lot of people need to read so that you understand more about history. You know, I was going to do a whole documentary about this thing, and the Holy Spirit just held me off. But this is all about what you have read about in the Willie Lynch syndrome. Oh, yeah. Mr. Diddy has been a main, let's just say, provocateur in facilitating this thing called the Willie Lynch against his brothers and sisters. A lot of people don't know what buck breaking is. And that's exactly what's really been going on. But of course, you know, the whole trial, no, we don't really want to tell y'all. We're not going to tell the public the truth about what's in the baby oil. They made fun about it. They made jokes about it. They never even really disclosed it on the mainstream news media outlets, what was truly in the baby oil. But some of us with eyes that see and ears that hear, we know the truth. We know what the children of the fallen watchers are really doing. And we see it. And there will be judgment and accountability, not just the baby oil itself, but about the children. Yeah, the innocent children. Brothers and sisters, many things are going to come out in the future. Many things are going to come out, and it's going to blow the lid off this world. It will be the earthquake that's going to rock this world. Because I'm telling you, this trial, they didn't get to the nitty gritty of what Diddy and others are doing. That's why I know he'll be out by this weekend having a big party. And if he doesn't get out this weekend, he'll get a complete pardon. This is so much deeper than what people really know. And I've really restrained from saying much. I had to refrain from going there. But after today, since it's pretty much, over in the sight of the public, it's not over in the sight of the Most High, because everyone, absolutely everyone on this earth is going to have to be accountable to what they do in the flesh, including Diddy. The Holy Ghost witnesses everything. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that. But a lot of people need to do some reading about buck breaking and the history of buck breaking. It hasn't went anywhere. Continuing, and I saw a comment Brother Yosef mentioned in the live chat. They said his plane is in Maui, so he's not a flight risk. So he's not a flight risk because he just beat the big charge. The small charges will get played down. That's right. Time served. Wow. His plane is in Maui. Isn't that interesting? Continuing with the headlines, brothers and sisters, because we are watching a psyop. But it's necessary because a lot of people are going to wake up from the matrix and going to realize what's going on here. We talked about Diddy. Now, let's talk about Social Security, because I know a lot of our seniors and older folks want to know why their money is getting cut. Because Trump is talking about his big, what are you calling it? Big, beautiful plan act. His big, beautiful bill act. Cutting money, hurting the people that's already struggling. And then they're trying to recount from overpayment in Social Security. Really? You think there would be some oversight when you're sending out checks, but now you want to take 50% of the people's, really probably entitled money. If anybody's been stealing, it's probably been the government.
The letters arrived quietly, but for over 1 million Americans, the shock was loud. Social Security is changing its rules, and the new policy could leave some beneficiaries with half their checks gone. The government says it is about efficiency, but for the people affected, it could mean food or rent completely gone. This update follows the Social Security Administration's recent plan to recover billions in overpaid benefits. Back in May, officials confirmed the agency will now reclaim those funds by withholding up to 50% of a recipient's monthly benefit. That is reduced from the previously proposed 100%, but still a harsh blow. Here is where it turns urgent. The change goes into effect on July 24th. For many,
July 24th, that will go into effect. And that's going to affect a lot of our seniors, people that have worked hard. They're like, oh, we had some kind of mishap in our system, and you got paid too much. So we're going to have to take out 50%. Y'all see what I see? Yes. They're trying to bring people down, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work, brothers and sisters. Believe me, if it does, it will be temporary. There is some restitution coming. Meanwhile, I want to update you all on a story that we talked about here on the Melchizedek News a couple of months ago about the brain dead mother over in Georgia that they were keeping on life support. She was 8 weeks pregnant in February, and these demolicious bandits wanted to play God and pull a Frankenstein and keep this woman on life support while she was pregnant so they could have an incubator baby. Yes. This is an update on that story, and many of you may have heard about this because there was a lot of controversy regarding this story. Take a listen.
This morning, the heartbreaking next step that was inevitable in a story that has captured nationwide attention.
In just a matter of hours, the family of Adriana Smith, the pregnant woman who has been on a ventilator since February, will say their final goodbyes before she's taken off life support this afternoon. 11 Alive's Karis Belger live for us this morning outside Emory University Hospital in Midtown.
Karis, Adriana's mom spoke exclusively with 11 Alive's Jennifer Bellamy yesterday, really just talking about how the family is navigating such a roller coaster of emotions from the last few months.
And you can just imagine what a challenge it's been for them the last few months. They say that she will be taken off life support at 2 p.m. today. And while they are preparing to grieve her, they're also holding on to the tiniest bit of hope. And that is her newborn baby, Chance. Baby Chance was born just last Friday on June 13th, delivered by emergency C-section at just 25 weeks. And he's now in the NICU. His mother, Adriana Smith, was declared brain dead back in February, 8 weeks into her pregnancy after suffering blood clots in her brain. Adriana's mother, April Newkirk, says today her baby is fighting for a chance at life.
He's fighting. He's in the NICU unit. He's about 1 pound, 13 ounces. And he's expected to be okay. He's just fighting. We just want prayers for him.
But today, her family will say goodbye. It's a moment Adriana's mother, April Newkirk, says that she is struggling to face. She's been dreading it. She's
beautiful young woman. I wanted to follow up on that story because that story, when I first heard it, touched my heart. It saddened me. It outraged me. This young woman passed away. She was declared brain dead in February. And they kept her body alive with machines until just recently. They said July, what was this? Just recently into June, so that they could deliver the baby. Trying to play God. How unjust. All of us should be outraged about that Frankenstein story. It's so much that's going on, family. That's why I try to pour out, my heart, and I go over these headlines, and I try to keep you all up to date on things. But that one right there really bothered me, and it should bother you all, about the travesty of justice that just happened with that story in Georgia, keeping that young woman alive. We know that it's against the scriptures because we have the prophecies. She was declared brain dead, and that's what should have occurred for her and her child. They should have been able to leave in peace and go back in the presence of the Father. But the enemy denied that, trying to play God. My condolences to that family in Georgia, and continue to keep them in your prayers, family. Continue to keep them in your prayers. Meanwhile, a lot of you that are watching may have heard about this story over in Dallas about the postal worker that passed away in the heat last week. I'm wondering, as I'm seeing a lot of these heat-related deaths and just things that are happening in the mainstream news, if the thing that people got a few years ago, I talk about it a lot. You see it right there. I'm wondering if that isn't playing a contributing factor in what's happening in these headlines with people. I do believe it is, knowing what I know. Take a listen.
This morning, the U.S. Postal Service is investigating the death of another mail carrier in Dallas.
It all comes almost 2 years to the day when another mail carrier died while working with feels-like temperatures into the triple digits. Our Larry Collins is following that story for us this morning. Larry.
Good morning. Yeah, just a heartbreaking story. It is like deja vu of the worst kind. The latest incident happening just this past Saturday. According to the Concerned Letter Carriers in Dallas group, 51-year-old Jacob Taylor was seen gathering mail from his truck when he collapsed. Dallas Fire Rescue confirming to NBC5 they responded to a call about an unconscious person on Medical District Drive around the same time that witnesses claimed to see Taylor collapse. The fire department says CPR was performed on that patient, but he was pronounced dead at a local hospital. The U.S. Postal Service would only say that the incident was still under investigation, and they had no further comment. Now, this comes nearly 2 years to the exact day that Eugene Gates collapsed and died while on a route in Dallas. That day, there was a heat index of near 115 degrees. Following Gates' death back in 2023, OSHA proposed a $15,000 fine on the U.S. Postal Service. And in response to pressure from Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, they promised that more air-conditioned trucks would be sent to the state of Texas. The Dallas branch of the National Association of Letter Carriers says that they want answers into this latest incident and accountability if necessary.
Well, I don't know for sure if the cause of death was heat related, but what I do know, it was hot that day. It was very hot that day. And
Family, there is so much that is going on in this world. It's time for us to be compassionate, sympathetic, empathetic to all our brothers and sisters and what people are going through. It may be your loved one, and at the end of the day, it is your loved one, because we are all family. We are all brother and sister under the Most High. Yes, much going on, way more than what meets the eye, way more than what's on the surface, because of that thing right there, You see the books in back of me. If you haven't got them, you need to get them. Meanwhile, there was a story about the father that jumped in the ocean after his 5-year-old that fell overboard on a cruise ship. This has been making a lot of headlines, and actually, it's a lot going on the cruise ships. Even on the cruise ships, there's a lot going on, family. Let's take a listen. This was a Disney cruise ship.
2 people have been rescued after falling from a Disney cruise ship traveling from the Bahamas to Florida. Witnesses say a girl fell over a railing as her father was taking pictures and that he jumped in after her.
Rescued from the Atlantic Ocean, a dad and daughter who had gone overboard a cruise ship. The 14-deck Disney Dream was sailing back to port when the man jumped in to save his daughter. Witnesses say the girl appeared to fall from the 4th deck when her dad took her picture against a railing. A lifeboat was deployed to rescue the pair.
The ship was moving quickly, so quickly. It's crazy how quickly the people became little tiny dots in the sea, and then you lost sight of them.
And everyone was like cheering on the ship, and just the amazing quick response of Disney made a big difference.
The forethought.
I'm actually wondering how that happened. They said that she was leaning on a rail, just taking a picture. It's got to be more to it, family. I mean, I've been on a cruise ship. Man, yeah, I'm just glad that they were rescued and they are alive. That was a tragic story. We were talking about that yesterday, Brother Yosef and I. That was a brave dad. Meanwhile, we got 60 passengers over here that's suing the cruise lines because they got sick.
This is Cruise News Today with Doug Parker.
Good morning. Here's your cruise news for Wednesday, July 2nd. Taking a cruise line to court. Yeah, more than 60 passengers are suing P&O Cruises after becoming ill on board the P&O Ventura during 2024 and 2025 sailings. The UK law firm Irwin Mitchell says clients reported symptoms like vomiting, diarrhea, and ongoing health issues. Passengers described poor cabin cleanliness and canceled activities due to staff illness. One couple said they couldn't leave the
Anybody want to take a cruise right now? I'm telling you, it's a whole lot going on with the cruises. People are really getting sick. I thought I had one more. We had the father there. If I find another, it's a lot of things going on the cruise lines right now, brothers and sisters. Meanwhile, we got these two thugalicious bandits running around with Michael Myers mask, robbing folks. I told y'all, the purge has begun. The heart of man and woman, people, has waxed cold.
3 men from California are now facing federal charges for an armed robbery in Sweetwater that led to a police shooting and chase Friday morning. Investigators say that the suspects wore Michael Myers Halloween masks and allegedly zip-tied employees inside a business. ABC 6's Kim Wynn is in Miramar with the new details.
New surveillance pictures show 3 men in Michael Myers Halloween masks moments before investigators say they forced their way into a Sweetwater business Friday morning. All 3 men allegedly armed with what turned out to be BB guns. Police say they got back-to-back calls about a possible armed robbery.
Officers that were patrolling the area immediately responded, and once they got here, they confronted the subjects that were committing this crime.
Investigators say these were the men behind the costumes: Aaron Brown, Rainier Landry, and Eric Chase. All 3 now face federal carjacking charges and Hobbs Act robbery, which means robbery that affects interstate commerce. The alleged robbery led to a police shooting, then to a police chase, which ended in Medley. Chopper video shows one of the suspects after he was shot.
One of the subjects was suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. He was transported to a local hospital in stable condition.
Did they say BB guns? They did, family. I'm telling you, it's the wild, wild west out here. The purge has begun. You can't even work with people. This young lady lost her life because she got into a fight with a co-worker and has lost her life. We got a true problem with anger right now. I'm going to read you in the scriptures about anger.
And if a complete miracle from God, happens, she's never going to come back.
New here at 6, a father making a heartbreaking decision to take his daughter off life support after he says she was attacked by her boss at work. And KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers has been speaking with that woman's dad and police also. He's here now at the desk with more on this story. Mike?
Yeah, Pat, that woman just 24 years old. She's an employee at a 7-Eleven in the 5700 block of Melrose. Now, her father tells me last week she got into an altercation with her assistant manager at the store, apparently a feud that the two had been having for quite some time. Now, the father says that at some point during that interaction, it became physical. He accuses her boss of hitting her, repeatedly pulling her hair, dragging her to the floor, and attacking her so badly that by the time it was all over, she said she couldn't breathe, she collapsed, and was taken to an area hospital. Tonight, he says they've had to make the difficult decision that they will take her off of life support on Wednesday after the attack. He tells me that she was determined brain.
Nothing good comes from anger, brothers and sisters. And what could they really, what was so bad that they're arguing about at work at 7-Eleven that caused her to snap on this young lady? And now the young lady is no longer with us. I'm telling you, it's so much. I saw this case right here, this story right here over in Phoenix, Arizona, about a newborn that was found because the neighbor was curious as to why she hadn't seen her neighbor who just delivered a baby. Come to find out, they go in the apartment and the mother passed away. Again, brothers and sisters, I'm wondering if the things, those AC units, if it had anything to do with this particular headline, because there's so much that's going on. Yeah, she just delivered a baby and then passed away suddenly.
Bianca, thank you. Phoenix police call it a life-saving phone call. A South Phoenix neighbor calls 911 reporting that she hasn't seen her neighbor in multiple days. Officers enter her apartment to find a newborn child there clinging to life and her mother dead inside.
12 News journalist Sean Rice speaking exclusively with the woman who called 911. And Sean, it sounds like this call came just in the nick of time. What did she have to say?
Yeah, Trim and Crebe, this incident all happened back on May 14th at an apartment complex in South Phoenix. A woman who does not want to be named tells me she was extremely close with her next door neighbor. It's a new mom who had just given birth 2 weeks prior. And because of the combination of her decision to quickly call 911 that day and the heroic actions of Phoenix police officers, that newborn is alive today.
The baby's here, dude, and the baby's still alive.
Staff at the hospital had informed law enforcement that if quick action and decisive action wasn't taken immediately, the child may not be with us today.
What started as a welfare check on a South Phoenix apartment turned into a daring rescue of a newborn last month. A woman who lives at the complex hadn't been seen or heard from in multiple days.
We didn't see her Saturday. We didn't see her Sunday. We know Sundays was Mother's Day. Monday, Tuesday, we didn't see her. We called on that Wednesday.
By phone, this neighbor says it was extremely unusual to not see the mom for those 5 days. It prompted her to call 911 and ask for Phoenix Police's help. Body camera footage shows officers look through a back window of her apartment, spotting the woman on the ground inside a bedroom and her newborn on the bed wrapped in blankets.
Officers go immediately identify that the child is in desperate need of.
What happened, brothers and sisters? We really just don't know. But that's a disturbing headline right there. Brand new baby, 2 weeks old. Just a tragic loss right there for the baby, for the mom. So much going on in this world. You know, that's an example of love thy neighbor. Literally, the neighbor was concerned. She hadn't seen her neighbor. She was like, I'm going to call and have them do a welfare check. Thank the Most High that she did. More of us need to be aware of things going on around us and a little bit more thoughtful and show some consideration for our brothers and sisters. That saved the life of that baby. Meanwhile, we got defendants escaping straight out of the courtroom in broad daylight. I'm telling y'all, the purge has began. The hearts of man and woman have waxed cold.
Now to the wild escape and search for a Hennepin County convict. Right now, officials are still searching for 35-year-old Jarrell Martin, who escaped over 24 hours ago when he bypassed security after fighting with deputies during his sentencing hearing. Danny Spiewak is here with more on how he got away and how police are tracking him. Danny?
Well, Martin has been on the loose for more than 24 hours now, and I should say this all started yesterday during a sentencing for Martin on a felony weapons possession charge. At the Hennepin County Courthouse on Tuesday morning, Judge Michael Burns sentenced Jarrell Martin to 60 months in prison after he was found guilty in March of illegal possession of ammunition. Martin was out on bail, so he wasn't in custody prior to the sentencing. But according to the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, deputies intervened at the sentencing hearing after a woman tried to hand Martin a phone, leading to an altercation. The sheriff's office says Martin escaped those deputies, then took off down the stairs of the courthouse after losing his shirt and shoes.
This is, although rare, it does happen.
Ed Obayashi is a national police.
What a wild day at that courthouse, right? Yes. Meanwhile, speaking of courthouses, we got a Greensboro, North Carolina brother who just got released after 27 years. Yeah, serving time for 27 years. And probably what it looks like for something he really didn't do. You know, it's crazy, but this brother can sit for 27 years, but then you can let the likes of Diddy go free.
New at 5 o'clock, a Greensboro man who spent more than 25 years in prison is now free. Benjamin Cole says he was wrongly convicted of murder in 1999.
New evidence brought to light flaws in the case. WFMY News 2's Joseph Leonard was in the courtroom and has the new details.
Yeah, Greensboro man locked up for nearly 3 decades for murder is now free. Benjamin Cole took an Alford plea. It's a legal move that lets him maintain his innocence while pleading guilty to a lesser charge.
He does have the jail credit that covers his sentence, so he is released from custody now.
Cole's family waited years for that moment, and they applauded as Judge Susan Bray said.
Stories like that, man, that's what keeps me going, brothers and sisters, because there's so much happening in this earth. 27 years. Family, family, family. Continue to pray for all our brothers and sisters. Meanwhile, we got robots walking around. I'm telling y'all, the world right now is bizarro world. You need to remove yourself from the matrix as much as you can. That's right. Come out of her, my people.
Well, turning now to a strange sight on the streets of Austin. Maybe you spotted this today on social media or in person. A robot wearing a cowboy hat walking alone on South Congress. We reached out to APD and the city to see if they knew anything about this, but it's still unclear tonight who the robot belongs to and why it was out there walking all by itself. If any of you at home know, let us know. Give us a call or just email us at news@kview.com.
AI just out here spying on folks, just walking down the street like everything is normal, waiting on somebody to touch them so they can arrest you. Yes. Going back over to the East Coast, I saw this headline right here. It bothered me as well. Another one of our brothers and sisters leaving here for some senseless violence because of anger, brothers and sisters, anger. And I want to read to you some scriptures regarding anger because I think we need them today with so much that we're seeing in this earth right now. But check this headline out of the East Coast over in New York.
The 36-year-old woman shot dead in the middle of Prospect Heights last night has been identified. Thanks for being with us here on News 12 Brooklyn. I'm Amanda Bossard. Let's get right to News 12's Valerie Ryan. She spoke with the victim's family and shares the moments that led up to that woman's death. Valerie.
Amanda, disturbing details tonight. Now we know the victim's name is Tamika Powell. She was shot and killed in the middle of the street here last night. Her loved ones say all because of an argument. And tonight, that 36-year-old, the family of the 36-year-old is not only grieving, but she leaves behind 2 young daughters.
One person's reckless behavior.
Norma Campbell, Tamika's mother, remembering her daughter as a free spirit.
She did whatever she wanted to do with no apologies, no regrets. But she had a big heart, a big loving heart.
Campbell says her daughter went to a barbecue up the street from their home last night. That's where an argument sparked, and after her daughter left the party, she was followed.
The guy went into his apartment, came back out with a mask He put on the mask and left in the direction that Tamika left.
Local residents say it was on the corner of Carlton Avenue and Pacific Street where the masked suspect and Tamika exchanged a few words. And as Tamika began to walk away, the suspect shot her once in the head.
Around 10:30, there was a gunshot, and my wife and I went outside and saw that there had been a murder.
Video from last night's scene shows Tamika's body covered in a white, bloody sheet. Tamika took her last breaths just 2 blocks from where she lived.
If you were bold enough to take a life and come forward, whatever the confrontation may have been, it didn't get to this level.
At this time, no arrest.
Brothers and sisters, this is the hour that we are in. As you see there, the thumbnail today, the hearts of the people have waxed cold. That's what Matthew 24 told us. The hearts of people is going to wax cold. Before I get to my last couple of headlines today, I want to bring up some scripture as I listen to the pain that's in the voice of that mother. Being a mother and a grandmother myself, I want to read, my brothers and sisters, something from the scriptures, because that's what I like to do here on the Melchizedek Network. I want to bring some scriptures to you, and I'm going to cut this music off as I give precedence for the word of the Most High, because we need it right now. We need the word, we need the law, and not just read it, but we need to apply it to our lives. So I want to read some things about anger and what's necessary, because this is the Melchizedek Network. This is not just any news network. This is the network that represents for the King of Kings. And I want to read you a couple of things from the law, the true law that we initially got from our Father. These laws here are the laws of Yeshurun, just 2 of my favorites that can be found in the law of Yeshurun. There are 40 laws, which can be found in the book of remembrance of Moses. This is why it's so necessary. We need those books of remembrance. So this is on the tablet of Gabriel, and it says Law 14. Listen to what Law 14 says. Motza the Lamb, who is the Messiah. The world knows him as Jesus Christ. He's Yahshua. He's also known as Motza the Lamb. He is the principal source of protection. And we do need some protection in this hour. As we can see, we're in spiritual warfare. Our families, our loved ones are being attacked in a very satanic and demonic system. This is the hell on earth, and you need protection. So Motza the Lamb is the principal source of protection for mankind in the temporal world. And his protection, brothers and sisters, can be brought to bear only by implementing. Does it say? It says only by fully implementing repentance into your lives. And repentance attached to forgiveness can overcome all obstacles. That's right, brothers and sisters. Today is the day to repent. As you see these headlines, a lot of disturbing things happening in the world right now that should cause one to turn from their sins. Ask for forgiveness. Look at Law 15 of the Yeshurun laws. It says, let every person forgive their fellow. It's time to forgive people. It's time to reconcile with others. Let every person forgive their fellow with forgiveness in reserve. You should be always willing to forgive, family, having that in your heart. Forgiveness in reserve with loving kindness. Hallelujah. In the face of sin or failure or shortcoming, and their forgiveness will heal. Brothers and sisters, while everybody is waiting on Christ to bust out of the sky, the solution and the antidote is within you. He says forgiveness will heal and it will raise up fellow man. That's what we need, brothers and sisters. Forgiveness. It's the gift of life and all their fellow men. It's time to forgive all. You need to let people know that you forgive them. Hallelujah. Something about anger here. Let me read this about anger, brothers and sisters. Something beautiful here. I wish this wasn't in the way. Something is in my way here. Let me see if I can move that. But anger, for this is the law of the prophets, even all of the commandments that have been given by the Father, that you shall worship the Most High with all of your heart, your might, and your soul by keeping his commandments. How do we do that, brothers and sisters? What's keeping the commandments truly? Doing unto others what you would have others do unto you. That is the law, brothers and sisters. That's what we're here to learn. Look at all, you see all this hate and all this discord in society because we have not learned the lesson that we were brought here for. It says, there shall be no more law given except those commandments that I give you this day. Yes, that's what it's all about. And anger brings about nothing. Let me see if I got something about anger. Look at that. Matthew chapter 5, it says, behold, you have heard it said for them of the old times that you should not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. And this is the law that the scribes and the Pharisees teach. Yeah, all this eye for an eye, which they do not understand, for they have said that an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and that you shall stone and kill those who violate the law. We never do tit for tat, family. You don't repay evil with evil. You repay evil with good, brothers and sisters. That's why the Most High says, but where in the commandment that if you kill somebody that is killed, how is that just? Aren't you both guilty of the same sin? Brothers and sisters, we got to repay evil with good. That's how we overcome. These scriptures constantly tell us about our anger. He said, because anger in the heart might lead to the death of your brother. This is what we have to do away with anger. Nothing good comes from anger. And whoever shall hold his brother in contempt or ridicule shall be in danger of the law that has been given by the council that renders the law. The word says in 25, and I'm reading you in Matthew chapter 5, yea, be kind to thy brother and respect the opinion of who disagrees with you. Hallelujah. Brothers and sisters, it's time to respect one another. We need it in this earth. Headline after headline is all you're seeing. It's just hate and discord among brothers and sisters. You never repay evil with evil. Never go tit for tat. Always repay evil with good, brothers and sisters. Always look to do the right thing, even when people do you wrong, even when they say ugly things, even in your thoughts, even in the thoughts, brothers and sisters. Because what a man thinketh, so he is. Yes, it's all in your thoughts. What's in your heart? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I just wanted to bring that up because I see so much in these headlines when I'm bringing them to you, brothers and sisters. We are just living truly in a time. Shalom there, Sister Maya. It's good to see you. As I get out of here today with these headlines, and just something for you to think about as we think about the hearts of man and woman that is wax cold. Continue to pray for others. Continue to let your light shine. Be a light in this earth because we are the answer, brothers and sisters. That's how we build the kingdom of the Most High. The kingdom is up on this earth. And we build that kingdom as we reconcile, as we forgive, as we learn to abide in the royal law, which is doing unto others what you would have them do unto you. Loving thy neighbor. So many people, you're waiting on just this big, magnificent event. Oh, Christ is going to come from the sky and he's going to change everything. I'm sorry, many people are going to be proven wrong. You, me, we have to be the change that we want to see, brothers and sisters. We are to bring the kingdom to this earth. As it is in heaven, as it is on this earth. On earth as it is in heaven. That's in the daily prayer. That's what we're here to do. Absolutely. Good to see you, Asir. Shalom, shalom. As I leave out, let's try to leave out on a bright spot. I got a story here that I saw and it was beautiful. It's a really good example. This headline here on loving thy neighbor. This was a brother and sister that were on a jet ski situation, an excursion over on Lake Michigan. And I'm going to let you hear and see the story of survival. But this was about not blood relatives, but two people that met up and they were on this excursion that could have been tragic. But because of the love of thy neighbor, they were able to survive and make it through. And I just want you to hear their testimony on Lake Michigan, stranded after they had went over in the water, and how their life jackets saved their lives. So brothers and sisters, wear those life jackets when you go out here on the water. And also teach your kids how to swim. It's important. Yes. Listen to this story right here as I leave out for these Melchizedek headlines on this July 2nd.
Two Chicagoans stranded in Lake Michigan for 7 hours lived to tell their tale. And now they want others to hear their message, to wear a life vest when on the water. Friends Crystal Howard and Mario Morris say it's still surreal. They were on Lake Michigan Sunday afternoon, and a quick trip on Morris's Sea-Doo changed their lives when a wave knocked them off around Waihala Beach in northwest Indiana.
It just knocked us off. The jet ski never flipped. We just flew off the jet ski.
It was boats and jet skis riding past, but we was like peanuts in the water, and they couldn't, nobody could see us or hear us.
It was about 5 p.m. Sunday. Their watercraft was gone and it was getting dark, but they say they had their life vests on. Morris has high blood pressure and damaged lungs and was struggling going in and out of consciousness.
And that's when I felt like I couldn't, make it.
I put my arm through his life jacket and kind of laid him on me. And then I went sideways and was kicking. I just told him, just kick your feet and move your arms so it can help us go.
She didn't leave me. She didn't give up on me. She was like, "No, you got this. You could do it."
Howard had been a junior lifeguard in her youth. Now she's a mom of two. Morris is a father as well.
We finna get to our babies. We gotta get to our kids. And he just had a baby. And I'm like, nah, all I could think about what my kids gonna do. I can't just go out like that.
The two swam and drifted to land, which was a rocky shore of an East Chicago steel mill.
We close. We here now. We here now. Come on. We got to keep going. He was like, I'm not going to make it. I said, yes, you is. Come on. Come on.
The Indiana Department of Natural Resources spokesperson says several agencies were searching for the two, including the U.S. Coast Guard stationed Chicago.
I knew they had life jackets, and so that increases their survival chance so much.
The two were brought to a local hospital and treated for hypothermia. But they survived 7 hours in Lake Michigan with only their life vests. Howard and Morris and all the other agencies that responded to their search urge anyone on the water to wear a personal flotation device and make sure it's appropriately fitting.
Yes, brothers and sisters. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High. What a beautiful, uplifting story after so many headlines that are doom and gloom. But it's not all doom and gloom, brothers and sisters. We are being restored. It's going to take time. And we will learn and obey the law of the Father. It's just that, we've been living in this oppression for so long. But what a beautiful story of a true brother and sister coming together to survive through a tragic situation. With that being said, I love you all with real love, real respect. Thank you to those in the live chat that have joined me and for these Melchizedek headlines. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, those watching, subscribe and hit the like button. All those watching, if you're new from TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, again, hit the like button, subscribe. This is a positive network. All about, as you see on the hashtag there, real love, real respect. That's what it's all about. Peace, love, unity, and respect for all people. And family, as a good laugh and a pick-me-upper, I'm going to take y'all back from a blast from the past. Yes, because, sometimes we want to go back to our childhood and go back in the day when life was good. So I got an oldie but goodie for you all. An oldie but goodie. Taking you back to your childhood. Taking you back to a nostalgic time when life was good And it's coming back. It's gonna come back, family. We got to go through a storm, but I'm here to tell you because the word said so. We're coming back to something beautiful. It's gonna be even just more beautiful. But let me take you on a trip down memory lane, brothers and sisters, with this old school Burger King commercial. Yes, you know, Sistah ChaYah, I like to dig up archives. And I'm sharing this with you as I leave out of here. Brothers and sisters, you have a good one. I will see you soon here on the Melchizedek Network. I love you all. And as always, Brother Yosef sends his love. And we send you much aloha from Maui, Hawaii. Thank you for joining me, family. I love you. And that's real love, real respect. Enjoy this as we leave out. Some of you are old enough to remember this. I was very young.
May I help you, sir? If I wanted a Whopper and I asked you to hold the pickles and hold the lettuce, I know I'd get that fast. But would I get to hear you sing?
No, sir.
No?
You'd get to hear us sing. Girls?
Ooh, hold the pickle, hold the lettuce, special order, donuts, bread, and all we ask is that you let us serve it your way.
All right.
Yeah, we can fill your Brawl beef Whopper fresh with everything on top, or any way you think it's proper, have it your way.
Hey, you got one big hit on your hands.
Well, the Whopper's one big hamburger.